The Sheep Detectives is from Kyle Balda, director of the Minions movies, not counting the new one that's not out yet, and Despicable Me 3, and written by Craig Mazin, who worked on two Scary Movies, The Hangover sequels, and, of course, logical progression, creating Chernobyl and The Last of Us TV series. I once saw on Instagram that Chris O'Dowd has said that combination is what convinced him to join. Based on the novel 3 Bags Full by Leonie Swan. It's a nice, cute family movie about talking sheep. And they live in the beautiful English countryside and are looked over by the shepherd, who is played by a charming and wholesome Hugh Jackman. And then he gets fucking murdered. And now some of the sheep have set out to solve that murder and help the cops find out what they learn. So we get a murder mystery that doesn't let the fact that it's supposed to be family friendly hold it back. In fact, it doesn't even look like 3 Bags Full is even a children's book, and the whole sheep thing was just to make it more quirky. I guess this movie makes more sense than making Animal Farm into a family movie, although nobody would ever be stupid enough to try that.
Look at all this deliciousness! They want this!
The mystery is as interesting as any adult murder story. There are quite a bit of surprises, and the journey of getting there is fun and intriguing, helped by the likable sheep characters. This is an all-star cast and they give life to these animals. And it also deals with some heavy themes for a family movie. Of course, it's mostly about death, but also accepting death. Like, these sheep barely have any perception of mortality, and a lot of it is them trying to come to terms with the idea of death. And the movie gets emotional at times. And also the Ram character, played by Bryan Cranston, has some surprisingly dark subplots. But don't get me wrong, I'm not arguing that, actually this is a dark and mature movie only for adults. This is still a very upbeat family movie. It's a story of murder and grief, but it's also a cute movie about talking sheep. It has a nice sense of humor to go with the more mature themes, and some charming characters who are always fun to watch. Well, it looks like the live-action talking animal movie is back, at least for one movie. But with one that's actually really good. A family movie that isn't afraid to get into some real mature themes. Something with a bit more edge than your average movie of its type. An intriguing murder story wrapped up in a deceptive fleece of cute talking animals doing cute talking animal stuff.
Finish it.
Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No. 7.
Hugh Grant, Liam Neeson, Colin Firth, Laura Linney, Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, Rowan Atkinson, Keira Knightley.
Christmas is the time to be with the people you love.
Yeah, I need a car.
This holiday season,
Does Natalie live here?
all you need
Hello.
is love, actually.
Obsession is from writer and director Curry Barker, one half of the YouTube sketch comedy group That's a Bad Idea. And so this movie is a big part of the wave of indie horror movies made by YouTubers that are now becoming the next big thing at the box office recently. And this is not just out of name recognition. He wasn't even that big of a name on YouTube, and yet this could end up being one of the most profitable movies ever. It's making bigger amounts of money every week. That's the real driving force, word of mouth. And when you see it, you'll know why. It tells the story of a young man in love. He ends up using a novelty wish toy to wish that his crush loved him more than anybody else in the world, and to his surprise, it works. Once again, more than anybody else in the world. To an unhealthy degree, where everybody should fear for their lives. Yes, it's a be careful what you wish for story, but it also leans heavily into the ethical aspects of this wish. He's literally taken away her free will. I think there might be a rule in the Fairly Odd Parents against this wish. He hadn't thought about it at the time, and probably didn't even believe the thing would even work, but make no mistakes, anytime after that, he is the villain of his own story. He starts out as a meek young man who's nervous about the love of his life, all the while grieving the loss of his cat. He's in a bad place, and even if he wasn't, he's still sympathetic. Then the plot happens. He's a little harder to defend. All throughout the movie, it is clear that it is not actually her, and what has replaced her personality is not good. And sometimes her real personality comes through to make it clear that she isn't into it. Yet he still continues to see her. In any other movie, this would be just a dumb horror movie protagonist doing dumb horror movie protagonist stuff. But here, there's the implication that he's taking advantage of her. And by the time his conscience kicks in, it's too late. But because of how we got to know him beforehand, he still somehow manages to become sympathetic. He's dealing with some things that explain but don't excuse his actions, and if he was a complete monster, then this movie probably wouldn't have hit as well as it did. But the real standout is Indy Neveready as the girlfriend, both her and the thing possessing her to love him. She's a very creepy presence, and at many points she seems truly deranged. Her rapid transformation from normal person into the girlfriend from hell is as disturbing as many of the things that she says and does after that happens. Even when she's at her most normal, in quotation marks, her scenes with the man played by Michael Johnstone have an uncomfortable bad relationship vibe. She can't function without him. He thinks he's only staying in the relationship to avoid hurting her, but he isn't really trying hard to fix anything. And it is full of scares, mostly from Navarrete, but also a surprising sense of humor. Yes, Barker still uses his comedy background here, although when it comes, it's often a little more unexpected than when it's done by fellow sketch comedians turned horror directors like Jordan Peele and Zach Kreger. But really, the thing that sticks with the audience most, by a large margin, is the scares. It's Navarete's performance. It's how messed up the story is. It has an appropriately bleak ending that's even more haunting because it puts in your face who the real victims are. And it's how effective that ending is at making you feel the bleakness that brings it up to a 4.5 star for me. Honestly, even without that, it would still probably end up being the most disturbing horror movie of the year. It's an obsession thriller where the villain is actually the victim, the hero is a sympathetic sleazeball, and nothing can possibly end well for anyone.